Everyone, welcome back to the Pulse, Wise County Schools podcast. This is our Christmas edition, December Christmas edition of the podcast. This is episode 4, and I'm so thankful to have Sydney with me. Sydney is a 4th grader here in Wise County, and we're going to sit down, we're going to talk. I'm going to try to get to know Sydney. I'm going to pick her brain a little bit, and then I'm going to let Sydney pick mine. But thank you so much for coming up, Sydney.
You're welcome.
Don't be nervous, please,
Okay.
Don't be nervous at all. But before we begin, you're a 4th grader here in Wise County. Tell me a little bit about yourself, Sydney, that maybe people might want to know.
Well, I'm in 4th grade, and I love playing softball. I love playing basketball, volleyball. Yeah.
Okay, so sports. You're a big sports person. Okay, well, that's good. So volleyball, softball, is there basketball? Okay, got you. Basketball season now, right? Okay, good. So typical day for a 4th grader. What's a typical day for Sydney like in 4th grade?
I go to school and I just come home.
Go to school, go to home. Do you eat anything? Do you go to break? Do you do any work while you're at school? Anything like that? Okay. You know, you got to make good grades to be able to play sports, right? Okay, got you. All right. So, you know, we're almost to Christmas time, and I'm sure you've got a big, long list of Christmas presents that you want, okay? But let's talk about school, and then we'll get into Christmas. But what is the most fun thing that you've had happen this year in 4th grade? Have you had anything fun? And it can be sports. That's okay.
The funniest thing we've done at school is a Halloween party.
You've had a Halloween party. Was that party at school?
Yeah.
Or, okay. Did you dress up?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you mind telling me what you were?
I was a minion.
You were a minion?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I think I've seen that movie before, I believe. Okay. I think I've seen it. So, like in school, is there any clubs or anything in 4th grade that you're involved in? Not just yet? Okay. The thing that I'm most curious about, Sydney, you know, that you're 4th grader, what is one thing that maybe you wish teachers understood or adults understood about, you know, being a student in 4th grade?
That sometimes school is hard.
School is hard. Okay. What makes it hard? Is it the studying? Is it the material?
It's the studying.
You got to study a lot?
Yeah.
Well, walk me through that. So let's say Sydney comes home. She's got basketball practice, softball, whatever, and you get home and you got to study. What do you do? How do you study? Do you do it by yourself? Do your parents help you?
My parents help me, but it's usually in the morning because I get home at like 8.
Okay, so you're crashing it in the morning time, maybe during breakfast. So while you're sitting there, are you at the dinner table? You in the car? Where are you headed when you're doing this?
In the dinner table.
You eating breakfast? You eating some cereal, Pop-Tart? What's your breakfast of choice to get going?
The mini sausage biscuits.
Mini sausage biscuits. Okay. I like sausage biscuits too. Okay. Let me ask you this. You talked about studying a little bit. What's the most interesting thing you've learned recently? Now, this can be in school or outside of school. Learned anything lately? It could be geography, math. It could be
Virginia studies.
Virginia studies. Okay, so you're doing a little bit of Virginia history, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. What is your favorite thing about school?
Well, I love the teachers. I get to see my friends a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Teachers and friends. That's a good thing. Least favorite thing about school?
The work.
The work. So if you could just go and hang out with your teachers and your friends, you'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you've got a few more years of working.
Yeah.
Okay. You got a few more years of working. But I've asked about everybody that has sat down with me. And it's one thing I'm interested in learning is, Sydney, everybody talks about being successful. You ever hear people talk about being successful? How do you define success? To you, when you say, Sydney says, man, that person's successful or not, how do you define success? Is it good grades? Is it being good at sports? I mean, good grades?
Yeah.
Being good at sports?
Yeah.
Okay. What about being nice to people? So I'm big on being nice, like kids being nice.
Yeah.
I'm really big on getting my daughter to be nice and taking care of people. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's good. All right, now here, if we had a crystal ball, Sydney's in 4th grade. We're going to fast forward 10 years from now. All right, you probably not even thought about it tomorrow, probably. But where, in 10 years from now, where's Sydney going to be? What was Sydney want to do? You going to go to college? You going to get a job?
I'm going to college.
You're going to college. All right. Any idea of what you would wanted to go to college for? Just going to try it out?
Yeah.
So don't know really kind of what career you might want to do just yet. That's okay. I didn't know what I wanted to do when I was in 4th grade. I really didn't. All right. Here's a tough one, all right? This is more of a outside the box kind of thinking, but if you had the power to make one change in the entire world, what would you change? And that could be sleeping later, you can getting up later for school. I mean, it could be anything that you want, okay?
I would change school.
You would change school? What would you do? Would you just go like a couple hours?
I would disappear the school.
You would no more school, all right? Okay, no more school, and like at all? No school?
Yeah.
None at all? You wouldn't be able to read or write or do math or anything like that? You just play sports, right? Okay, I got you. All right, well, I mean, it's your choice, It's your choice, all right? Now, I do think that you came with some questions for me. So I think it's a good chance for maybe you to ask me some questions. And then I've got some more like fun and creative questions and some that you might not be able to answer. And then we'll kind of wrap this thing up, okay?
Okay. What is your favorite Christmas gift you've ever gotten?
My favorite Christmas gift, probably a Sega Genesis. Do you know what a Sega Genesis is? Do you play like Wii or Nintendo or anything like? It was kind of like my version of Nintendo back in the day. But it was a big deal because it was really expensive. And man, my mom tricked me. Okay, my mom tricked me on Christmas because we used to get to open up Christmas presents on Christmas Eve, and I really wanted it on Christmas Eve. Okay, well I didn't get it, so I went to bed angry, thinking that I didn't get it, and then I woke up the next morning and there it was. So I was set on playing Sega Genesis.
What's your favorite food?
My favorite food. That's a good question too. Well, you can't beat most of the Mexican restaurants around here, So I would have to say I really like Mexican food.
What's your favorite Bible verse?
Favorite Bible verse? That's a good one. Probably John 3:16, probably.
If you had a chance to change something in the world, what would you change?
I think I just asked you that question. Again, I think it comes back to being nice to folks and taking care of people. And I think people need to understand a little bit better about relationships because things kind of come full circle sometimes, And so I think just taking care of people and being nicer, because I think in my career, I really sat back and think about folks that I met early on that here I am 20 years later and I'm sitting down with their grandchildren, because I know you papaw pretty good, But I just think that being nicer to folks and taking care of people.
If you got free tickets to any concert, what singer would you pick?
That's a good. Am I by myself or am I taking somebody with me?
Taking one person with you.
If I'm taking one person with me, I'm taking my daughter, okay? And I'm going to take her to Taylor Swift, okay?
She's a Swiftie?
She's definitely a Swiftie. I'm not a Swiftie. However, I think that would be like a very memorable moment for her to take her. If I'm going by myself, they say Metallica is coming to Blacksburg, Virginia. So I would probably go like to see. Do you know who Metallica is? They Enter Sandman. It's okay. We'll talk about that later, okay? That might be the one that I would pick on my own. Those are really good questions. Very good questions. All right. Let me ask you some fun and creative ones, okay? If you could have lunch with any historical figure or celebrity, who would it be?
Like any celebrity?
Anybody famous? Yeah, they could be dead or alive.
Probably Morgan Wallen.
Morgan Wallen, okay. I think he recently got a haircut, I believe.
Yeah.
He had to get it cleaned up just a little bit. So, do you know where you take him? Take him to Kirkland's? Where would you take him to? Kirkland's, that'd be a good choice, okay. What about dream vacation? You guys go on vacation anywhere?
Mm-hmm.
What would be your dream vacation?
Hawaii.
Hawaii? That's very pretty. I've never been to Hawaii. I hear it's very expensive, but
Yeah.
that would be a very good vacation. All right. If you could have any superpower in the world, what would it be?
Probably invisibility.
Invisibility. Would you try to like skip school when you're invisible, or?
Probably not.
Oh, okay. All right. You probably had to use that while you were in school, I guess,
Yeah.
right? All right. What is one thing you think every person should try at least once in their life? Mini sausage biscuits, maybe?
I don't know.
That's a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll come back to that later, okay? All right. Now, I always end this with questions about the 1900s. Do you know where the 1900s? You remember? You don't know what that is, do you? Okay. I was born in the 1900s, okay? So I'm going to ask you a few questions from the 1900s, okay? What is a TV guide? Do you watch TV at all? Netflix or anything? Okay. Can you guess what maybe a TV guide is?
Is it like a remote?
Okay, well, sort of, I guess, but it was a book. It was interesting. There was a book, that the TV guide, and it would actually tell you what was coming on TV. You had to like read a book. Oh. I know, it was interesting. What is Tang? If you had to guess what Tang is.
Tang?
Tang, T-A-N-G. These are tough, and you can guess, you can make it up.
I don't know.
Okay. It's a drink. All right. It's like kind of like Kool-Aid kind of. It was orange. You mixed it up. It's not been around in a long time. Okay. What is a VCR? Don't worry. I've only got like one in my house right now. Everybody used to have one. Okay. Everybody used to have one.
A VCR?
VCR, yeah. What's your favorite Christmas movie?
Home Alone.
Home Alone. I used to watch Home Alone on a VCR. What would that tell you?
Is it like a TV? But
It would hook up to your TV before Netflix. It was on a cassette tape. You had to slide it in, and it hooked up to your television. I didn't have Netflix when I was growing up on your age, so we had to watch stuff on the VCR. And by the way, Home Alone, probably one of the top 2 or 3 Christmas movies of all time, I believe. Now, Christmas edition. Christmas is coming up. What's the one thing you really hope you get for Christmas?
I really want it's this big like plushie kind of, but like it's squishy also.
Okay, so it's like a pillow or something, or?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, I think I know what you're talking. Like a squishmallow. My daughter has squishmallow.
Yeah,
you know?
kinda.
Does that make sense? Okay. Well, I've not really asked anything for Christmas. Okay. I like getting a new toothbrush. I like getting a new toothbrush for Christmas. So that's like my main thing I've asked for. Okay. Well, Sydney, I'll be honest with you. I just appreciate you for coming. Okay. I hope you weren't too nervous. And I appreciate you taking time of your day. The great thing about joining me this morning and doing this interview is you got out of school just a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna give you a note to get you back into school, and that way they won't punish you. Okay. Well, thank you all for tuning in. This was the Pulse Wise County Schools podcast, and this was Sydney. And I hope everybody has a Merry Christmas.